Imagine having an AI-powered assistant that understands how you learn, adapts to your needs, and helps you grasp complex concepts faster than ever before. Google's LearnLM is shaping up to be a game changer in education. And today, I'll show you how it works inside Google AI Studio. Hi, I'm Jamie, and welcome to Teachers Tech. Google's LearnLM is an experimental AI model designed specifically for learning. While still in development, it offers exciting possibilities for students, educators, and lifelong learners. Let's dive in how you can use it inside Google AI Studio. In the title of this video, I said, could this AI replace teachers? Now, I just want to point out I am a current teacher, and I don't think that it will replace teachers anytime soon, or I don't think it will just remove them from the classroom, but it will change the way we teach. This technology will allow us to differentiate with our entire classes, and I believe that's an important thing, what we can offer students to help support student achievement. I really want to know your views on this. Let me know down below in the comments. Now, I'm under Google AI Studio here. This is completely free, what I'm going to show you. So I'm going to go to Google AI Studio, click the link in the description to get to here. I'm under Create Prompt. I have another video talking about this stream real time and the amazing things, how you can have conversations and it can see you and everything. So check out those videos. But over on the right hand side, I'm going to change the model to LearnLM. So if you drop down here, I want to point out I'm going to do a different video on this one because this image generation that can be done in Google AI Studio is amazing. So check out that video when I have it. But I'm going to go to LearnLM. So this model here that Google created is fine-tuned as a teacher. So to understand education, the science, the principles of learning in education. So that's applied to this model. And you're going to see as we ask questions, asking it to learn, teach us, it's going to actually teach us, just not tell us things. So right now I have two different windows open up. On the right-hand side over here, I have ChatGPT. On the left, I have Google AI Studio. The reason I'm doing this is I want to run the same system instruction, the prompt, through ChatGPT to see if there's an actual difference. Now, if I go to one of these, I'm going to click Teach a Concept. These are pre-built system instructions, and they even give a question. So on this one, if I go Teach a Concept, here you can see the system instruction over here. So be a friendly, supportive tutor, guide the student to meet their goals, gently nudging them on the task if they stray. So I'm not going to read all of this, but I'm going to take this right here and I'm going to go and just Control C and put it over here and put it in here and send this away. So it should understand here. So what would we like help with today? I'm going to go and take this here and put it over here, just so we're at the same page so we can walk through it at the same time to see if there's any difference in this. Okay, so let's see what we start with. Over in ChatGPT, they're saying, great question. Yorick's skull in Hamlet's is one of the most famous symbols of Shakespeare's work when Hamlet holds the skull. So it's giving me a bit of information here about where it is, Act 5, Scene 1. He reflects, tells, getting kind of deep into it. Over here, let's see what it's telling us here. To start, can you describe the scene where Hamlet encounters Yorick's skull? What is Hamlet doing and where is he? So thinking about this, now I don't remember a lot about Hamlet, it's been a long time, but it was in a graveyard, I believe. So I'll say in a graveyard here. So I'm going to just send this off and let's see what it tells us. So you're right, it's in a graveyard. Can you describe the scene in a little bit more detail? What is Hamlet actually doing in the graveyard at that moment? Try to picture it in your mind. I just remembered that they were digging up graves, I believe. Let's see what if I give it that. So again, well, not quite digging, but he's definitely interacting with someone who's digging. Okay, so what is the grave digger doing and what does he unearth? So that is so important to play. So I believe that's where they find the skull, right? So he finds the skull. I'll put that in and let's see where it goes from there. Excellent. He finds the skull. Whose skull is it? Well, I think that's Yorick's, right? So I'll just put that in. So again, it's not feeding me the answer here. You got it, Yorick's skull. So how does Hamlet recognize Yorick's skull? What does he remember about Yorick? I don't remember how he remembered it, but I remember him thinking how fun he was or something like that. And I know that has something to do with the scene too. So over here in ChatGPT, so why do you think Shakespeare included this moment so late in the play just before the final duel? Let's say, you know what? I'm going to say I don't know. And let's see. Okay, that's okay. So it's being supportive. Both sides were supportive. Over here, it was being supportive with me. Do you think this realization changes how Hamlet approaches his final confrontation with Claudius? Why or why not? Now, I can tell the difference already. Like, I really have to know my stuff. I feel like here a little bit more. Over on this point, it was walking me through this a little bit more, breaking it down, scaffolding this out, and doing it in a way that, now if a teacher was doing it, you'd have to be one-on-one with that student, kind of breaking down, listening to them back and forth. I can definitely see I could learn from this way over here with ChatGPT, but I feel right now this is, if I was asking for help, I feel like this is going to be breaking it down. And this is where I can see where they've done the fine tuning inside LearnLM over here. Now I'm just back to full screen in Google AI Studio. Notice over here I have the prompt. This was saved because I'm logged into my Google account here. I'm going to go to create prompt, and you'll see that as I go back into that, if you look over the model, make sure you're on the right model, but it's still on LearnLM. Just as another example, if I click on homework help, now remember the system instructions are important. You can tell it the system instructions, and I'll give an example in a moment. I'll show you where you can use a different example. But the system instructions, you're an expert tutor assisting a student with homework. You're going to give answer, guidance, or feedback, depending on what the student wants. And then they have this pre-made question here. In a box of pears, the probability of a pear being rotten is 20%. If 3 pears are rotten, find the total number of pears in the box. So if I say, give me the answer, it will go through step by step and give me the answer, breaks everything down. If I say guide and I'll just hit run, it's going to do something similar to before. So it will kind of walk me through this. So let's tackle this problem together. Let's represent the total number of pears in the box with a variable. What variable would you like to use? We often use X, but you can pick another one. I'm just going to say, let's say I'm confused. Let's see what happens here. So no problem. It's totally understandable to be confused. Let's break it down further. We know that 20% of the pear is rotten. We also know that 20% can be written as a fraction as decimal. Can you convert 20%? I'm still going to say, still not understanding. And I want to see how far it will break it down for me. So, okay, let's try a different approach. Let's think about the term simpler numbers. Imagine you have 100 pears and 20% of them are rotten. How many rotten pears would you have? So again, it's breaking this down for me based on my questions. And I'm going to try one more time. Still confused. I want to know how far it will run this. Okay. Now, we color 20% of those smiley faces they're on. Okay, let's visualize. Imagine you have a group of 100 smiley faces. Each smiley face represents a pear. Now we color 20% of those smiley faces red to represent the rotten pears. So again, breaking it down a little bit further, trying a different approach. I'm going to add the link to this page down below in the description. This gives you a little bit more information about LearnLM and how the model was trained based on these learning science principles. You can see them right through here. Now I'm going to move down and I'm going to take this system instruction here, and I'll show you how to create your own system instruction. But I could take this and you could modify this any way you would like. So you can see you're a tutor helping a student prepare for a test. If not provided by the student, ask them what subject and what level they'd like to be tested on. So I'm going to take this, I'm just going to copy this, and I'm going to go over back to Google AI Studio. Up top here is the place where you're going to put the system instructions. So I'm just going to put that up here. Now in the example here, they said the user prompt, and I could actually ask anything, but let's keep it to school biology. I'll probably fail this when I go ahead and ask it, or when it asks me questions. Help me study for a high school biology test on ecosystem. So here we go. Let's get started. It's making a multiple choice test here. So we'll begin with some foundational questions. So here's my first questions. What are the two main components of an ecosystem? And you know what? I think I remember this one. I think this is A, right? So this is A, biotic and abiotic. Let's try this. Okay, did I get it right? You chose A, that's correct. Can you explain why you chose the answer? What do biotic and abiotic means in the context of an ecosystem? Well, I think it means living and non-living. Let's try that. Great, exactly right. Biotic factors are the living parts of the ecosystem. So it's checking to see that I just didn't guess at this. Now let's move on to the second question. Which of the following is an example of biotic factor influence the abiotic factor in an ecosystem? So it's going to be the same. If I'm going to just guess, maybe here, let's get this wrong here. And I'm going to put D. So you chose D, rain filling a lake. Let's think. Notice it didn't tell me I was correct right away. Let's think about this a little more. So while rain filling a lake is an important process in the ecosystem, does it involve a biotic factor, a living thing, influencing the abiotic factor? So it's taking, it's explaining to me, getting me to think about this. So take another look at the answer choices and see if you can find a better fit. So not for a study purpose, this can be a great factor for students as they go through, especially something like multiple choice tests, and breaking it down further to making sure that they understand it. So where do we go from here? I think this needs to go multimodal, which means it will be able to hear us, see us. We can just have a normal conversation with the AI and it sounds super natural. And Google AI Studio already has that built into it, but with a different model. Let me show you. And I think eventually what happens, this just goes to the classes and the students wear the glasses and they could be looking at their paper and it will help them do and give them advice, that personal assistant for every student. So if I go over here to the side and I go to stream real time, and I have a few different options here. I can talk to Gemini, show Gemini, or it can even see my screen. I have a different video where I dive into these two things and this as well, but I just want to show you real quickly with this. First, I'm going to go and give it the system instructions, the same one from the Hamlet one that we did, and I'm going to go and take this same information, they explain the significance of your skull, and you'll hear the difference because the LearnLM model isn't connected to this. This is the Gemini 2.0 Flash experimental. So I'm going to go and give it this same question and I'm going to run it. I could actually turn on my speaker.
Yorick's skull is a powerful symbol in Hamlet, representing the inevitability of death and the fragility of life.
So I'm just going to go ahead and stop this. I can read it here as well, but I'm going to turn on the speaker and I'm going to ask it let's explore. What is it? Did it ask me at the end here? Yeah, let's delve into the deeper symbolism here.
Okay, so you want to delve into the deeper symbolism of Yorick's skull. To start, what does the skull's physical presence as a tangible object bring to the scene for Hamlet?
As a tangible object. Well, let's see. It connects it to Yorick and the happiness and everything, and now they're in a graveyard.
That's right, it connects to Yorick and the past. How does this setting of the graveyard enhance the impact of the skull as a tangible object?
So I'm just going to stop it right here and stop my recording. You can see it doesn't have the model that LearnLM, how it was conversing. It was kind of more like what ChatGPT was doing before with this model. It didn't have those that philosophy of those different, how this model hasn't been changed to work with those educational principles of learning. So what do you think all about this? Can you see this enhancing learning in your classroom or learning for yourself? And as it goes multimodal and you're wearing the glasses and can just be looking at everything and asking questions and adapting to what you need. Let me know about that in the comments down below. I'll try to answer them with what I think as well. Thanks for watching this time on Teachers Tech. I'll see you next time with more tech tips and tutorials.